Hello and welcome to this first edition of English Language Made Simple. As stated in the Facebook page, the purpose of this is for us to be able to share ideas and see how best we can build each other in English language skills. The reason is, of course, it is not our mother tongue, but it is our official language. It is an official language that is needed, especially like Sierra Leone, of course. It's an Anglophone country, and then the official language is English. So we need it everywhere. We need it to pass our exams. We need it to um, go for our job interviews and all the rest. Right. So we want to look at the basis of English language, and that is part of speech, because that's what we need to understand if we are to excel, or if we are to be able to develop our skills on English language. Um, of course, a part of speech is a word class. In other words, a category of words that perform the same function in English language. Right, there are sets of words that perform the same function. Now we want to look quickly at the importance of studying parts of speech. If you look at this circle, you will see that there are there is a sentence here, but each of the words of that sentence has been drawn from different parts of speech, from different category of words. For example, the sentence is John climbs the tree. The word John has been borrowed from the category of noun. Climbs comes from the verb category. The is an article, and then tree also comes from noun. So you find out that noun, verb, article, and noun are all parts of speech, but of course the main parts of speech are it. And article is something we'll talk about in a different fashion. Right. So you find out that each of these, in other words, we've taken different fragments, different sections, different portions, put them together for us to be able to get our whole, so that we communicate well, and then our listener will be able to hear us, understand us, and then be able to know exactly what we are trying to communicate. So you find out that we build our speech by taking from different parts of speeches, and then get our whole. Now we look at the basic eight parts of speech. Right. The basic eight parts of speech. Now we have the noun. A noun is the name of anything. It can be the name of a person, a name of an animal, place, or thing. Examples are boy, girl, free town, cow, tree. Right. So the name of anything is a noun. In other words, a noun is the name of anything. Talking about pronouns, pronouns replace nouns. In other words, they are used to take the place of nouns. And the main purpose for this is for us to avoid repetition. Example, of course, he, she, it, him, her, they, them, us are all pronouns. Right. The main purpose of using pronouns is to replace nouns, and that's why we are able to get, I mean, a flowing English speaking, because if we have to repeat the nouns all the time, it will sound awkward. Now for adjective, it is used to describe or modify or tell us more about nouns or pronouns. Right. In other words, an adjective describes a noun or a pronoun. It tells us more about a noun or a pronoun. In primary school, we are told that an adjective describes a noun, but here we should be able to know that it also describes a pronoun, simply because pronouns replace nouns. Right. An adverb modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Same in the lower part of our schooling. In other words, in primary school, we are told that adverbs modify verbs, but at this stage we should be able to know that they do not only modify verbs, but also adjectives and other adverbs. So examples are speedily, early, always, everywhere. Right. There are many different, or there are many or different types of adverbs. Of course, we will be able to study those as we go on. For preposition, a preposition expresses a relation between elements in a sentence or a clause. Most of these elements are nouns or pronouns, right? So the purpose of or the work of a preposition is to express relation between elements, mostly nouns or pronouns, in a clause or a sentence, right? Example is on, in, out, from, to, beside, above. In other words, it shows the relationship between those two elements. For example, if there is a pen on the table, the relationship between the pen and the table is, or the relation between the pen and the table is what? The word on. So that tells you where exactly the pen is. For conjunction, they are used to coordinate words in a clause or a sentence, or to connect clauses or sentences. So two main functions of conjunctions. They either coordinate words in a clause or in the same clause or sentence, or they connect clauses or sentences. Examples are and, but, if, or, although, however. Right. So interjections, they express a sudden feeling or emotion. They are sometimes called, or some people call them, exclamation, right? For example, wow, say if I step on something, and then, oh, you see somebody by surprise, hey, ha, you know, or something happens unexpectedly, oh no. So you see, all of these are interjection, right? While for verbs, of course, they are action words or words that tells us state of being or an occurrence. Again, in the lower part of our schooling, in primary school or in elementary school, we are told that a verb is an action word. But at this stage, we should be able to know that it's not only an action word, not only action words are verbs, but words that express state of being as well as those that express occurrence are also verb. Examples of verbs are run, sleep, talk, has, is, can. Of course, there are many types of verbs as well, different types of verbs, and it will be very interesting when we'll be dealing with the different types of verbs. Now, in a case wherein you are asked to tell the part of speech of a word that stands all by itself, the correct answer that we should give is, I don't know. The reason for this is a part of speech of a word is determined by the function that word performs in a phrase, clause, or sentence. In other words, a word standing by itself cannot portray what work it is actually doing, right? But when it is placed in a sentence, we are able to know the function of that word in the sentence, and then based on the function that it does or that it performs, we'll be able to tell it's part of speech. For example, if a word is serving as the name of a thing in a sentence, then we know it's a noun, because by definition, we know that a noun is the name of anything. Right, let's just look at these three examples. In other words, there are three sentences here, and the one reads, John carries the table. The second one reads, Tom will table the issue to the committee. The third one reads, Susan has the tablecloth. Now, you find out that the word table has been used in all three sentences, right? Naturally, we can say the word table is a noun, assuming it stands alone, right? It's very easy for us to say, um, if we ask what part of speech is table, it's very easy for us to say that it is a noun. But then let's see what happens here. In the first sentence, it says John carries the table. It's telling us that John carries something, and that something is a table. And if we go to the definitions, we'll find out that the part of speech that is said to be the name of a thing is a noun. So in this first sentence, the word table is a noun, right? Now, if we go to the second sentence, it reads, Tom will table the issue to the committee, right? Here you will see that Tom is actually doing something, or Tom will do something, and Tom will do an action. He will do something, will table the issue. In other words, he will bring the issue to the committee, or he will make the committee know about the issue. That means Tom will be doing an action here, and because the word table here is representing an action, it is a verb. In this case, in the second sentence, the word table is a verb and not a noun, right? Now let's look at the third sentence. It says Susan has the tablecloth. Right. Here we'll see that the word table there is telling us the type of cloth Susan has. Let's imagine the sentence was Susan has the cloth. It will have been correct, but then what tells us the specific type of or kind of cloth that Susan has is the word table. So you find out that the word table here is describing the word cloth, and the word cloth here is a noun. So, and if we go to the definition, we'll find out that um, the part of speech that we are told is responsible to describe a noun is an adjective. So the word table is an adjective in this case. So I want to stop here for now, and I want to say thank you very much. But before I go, I want to just tell each and every one of us that for the next lesson we'll be looking at this, or I hope we'll be able to cover them. We'll be looking at nouns into depth, and then we'll be discussing the types of nouns, of course the singular and plural of nouns, that is plural formation, how we form the plural of nouns, identification of nouns, how we can identify nouns, and then functions of nouns. In other words, the work nouns do. Maybe we'll be able to do all, or maybe we will do just part of it. Meanwhile, just do this exercise, use the words chair and cement, and see how best you will use them to form sentences wherein these words act as different parts of speech, or they do the work or the functions of different parts of speech. I want to say thank you very much. At this point, I am Aruna Alpha Alfred Bangura of English Language Made Simple. Thank you very much. Please don't hesitate to send your comments, your questions, or whatever you may like. As I said, this platform is for all of us, and let's contribute as much as we can to develop each other. Thank you very much. Till then, see you. Till next class. Hello and welcome to this first edition of English Language Made Simple. As stated in the Facebook page, the purpose of this is for us to be able to share ideas and see how best we can build each other in English language skills. The reason is, of course, it is not our mother tongue, but it is our official language.